My name is Jimmy Weatherspoon. I'm a member of Delray Beach Lodge 275. Have been a member of this lodge for over 30 years. I follow in the footsteps of my father and several of his brothers, if you will. Delray Beach Lodge 275 was chartered in January the 16th, 1904. Masonry was an avenue, or another level of protection, if you will, for the black community, for black men in particular, a fraternity. Masonry goes back to the Middle Ages, back to King Solomon time frame, if you will. So Masonry has been around for a long time. And so as a result of that, our lodge was formed, like I said, and it came about because of the need and the concerns of the community. And of course, you know, the banks, for the most part, you talked about redlining and being able to get money, or they'll let you get a car. But if you wanted to build a house or establish a business, then that's a different story. They learned how to lend money to each other, if you will. I can call my father that several people in the community, when he was coming up, that he would go to when he needed some cash flow, if you will. And they would lend money to each other to help him to build things. My father ended up owning rental property, and he had his own business. But he was able to do that. But one of the things I certainly do remember about, again, our people of color across the east of Swinton, they knew. And my father would go to the bank, I mean, not to the bank, but want to go buy a truck or something, because he started his own business. He was taking 50 people more on a daily basis out to the farm to work. So he was a contractor. He would go down there, and Mr. Ford, and never forget, Mr. Ford had the Ford dealership in town. Weatherspoon, take that truck there, take it out, see if you like it. You know, on his word. You go to the bank, same thing, but because again, they respected who he was. They knew he was part of the Masonic organization. They knew what was going on in his community, of course, and as a result of that, certain people were able to go downtown and get things that they needed, just because of the reputation of who they were. I mean, things hasn't changed, and even today, still certain people can get certain things, if you will, but what was really great about the Mason in the community, though, just like the church, they kind of worked hand in hand. Because these brothers was in local churches. We had several churches about, so they was part of that. And so then, of course, when something needed to be done, they knew. And so they didn't have to guess about it. And as far as the happenings in the community, again, we had people in law enforcement, Brother Brooks and some of his predecessors. They was a member of our Lodge 275. I remember Brother Butler, Mr. Bradford, I guess to name a few of those guys who were Dusty, Master Mason. So they looked out for us too as well. They held the community together, and we started to strive. We had our own grocery, local stores. Our lodge, the Big G, what was called, the Big G. It was a store. And as a child, I didn't find out what that G stood for until I became a Master Mason, which stood for God. It was owned by the Master Masons, run by them, if you will. And so it provided food. Again, people could go there and provide food for themselves. Now, back in the day, though, most of the people living in this area, they grew their own vegetables. They had chickens and stuff. We didn't have to go to Winn-Dixie and all that. I can recall as a kid, occasionally we'd go downtown to get something, but for the most part, the vegetables and stuff, certain vegetables, was grown here. And so the Masons played an integral part in that, as far as the entrepreneurship, if you will, and the fact that they will help each other to be able to start a business, if you will. The pharmacy, the doctors, I can think of of course, the line services, but we had dry cleaners, and we had shoe shops. It was a city within a city.